This is me before seeing The Electric State. This is me after seeing The Electric State. The Electric State is Netflix's latest blunder, and is without a doubt the most mind-numbingly boring movie on Netflix's entire platform. I didn't even finish the fucking thing. I fell asleep with like 30 minutes to go. And I don't want to go back. The movie was just so lame and boring that I just can't sit through it again. Fun fact, my Netflix subscription ended the night I watched The Electric State, so it's fun knowing my time with Netflix ended with me falling asleep to one of their production films. Netflix raises their prices so often that it pretty much costs less to just get the Regal Unlimited Movie Pass. And another rant, why the fuck am I paying for a streaming service to still get ads? Every streaming service I'm on thinks ads is the way to go, and it's like, how else can we squeeze another dollar out of our paying customers? With the rising costs and subscription, plus whatever amount Netflix is making in ad revenue, it's safe to say they are not using our money effectively. The Electric Stinker is, if not one of, Netflix's highest budgeted movies, costing nearly $300 million to create. All that money they're squeezing out of us is being used to make movies that force you to fall asleep. They're basically making bedtime stories for you, and it's really hard to pinpoint where that money even went. It's either being used for money laundering, or the actors negotiated 2 livers to star in this movie. The Electric State, directed by the Russo brothers, stars Millie Bobby Brown as she plays an orphan who is on a quest to find her brother, all within a desolate techno-future society. The film also stars Chris Pratt, along with multiple other A-listers such as Woody Harrelson, Anthony Mackie, and multiple others that you'll probably recognize. The Electric State, at its most, felt like a $100 to $150 million movie, which even saying that still feels like a high amount. There is nothing that stands out in this movie that makes it feel like it should be worth $300 million. And the worst part about this is that The Electric State isn't even good. They spent all that money to make Netflix's most expensive lullaby. It's not terrible. I think 15% on Rotten Tomatoes is a little harsh and maybe aggressively jerking the situation more than it needs to be. It is just super slow and boring, and they play it safe the entirety of the plot. Yeah, I fell asleep, but I still know how it probably ends. I didn't even really want to make this review because this movie really just boils down to Netflix produced a $300 million movie and it made me fall asleep, but Netflix is lucky I needed to make a video today. Here's another fun fact. The Electric State is based on a visual novel written and illustrated by Simon Stalenhag. I'm actually familiar with Stalenhag's work as I went through his previous book, Tales from the Loop, and found his artwork to be gorgeous. Stalenhag has a really interesting, desolate art style that offers a lot of eeriness, paired with a narrative that's emotional, detailed, yet easy to follow. His work is actually really fantastic, and I do recommend checking out Stalenhag's books because prior to this film, I went to read the book that ended up generating Netflix's biggest blunder. The Electric State novel is much more different than the film and offers some of Stalenhag's most unique and impressive artwork. The art is desolate and haunting. There's a broader theme between humans and technology and the expressed feeling of living in a collapsing world. The designs are creepy and the material and message of the book is disturbing. The book and art offers so much more emphasis on the darker message and symbolism it's trying to convey. A world with endless pleasure at your disposal but is stripped of its humanity. So do you think a studio with $300 million would be able to accurately bring this source material to film? No. I wouldn't say they missed the mark design-wise. The designs and environments in this film are actually really cool, and while not as disturbing as the book makes them out to be, this is really the only positive note this movie has going for it. But it's like the Electric State film, while adopting the visual look of the books, wants to twist the actual message and tone of its source material. Captain Midnight goes into this a bit more than I do, but the movie is completely void of the emotion that makes the book so intriguing. And that's even more painful to say because they had the money to make it right. They had $300 million. Like, with that, they decided to create and sponsor the Mr. Peanut brand with his own character. A movie whose source material is based on corporatism and the dangers of instant technological pleasure. I really want to meet the genius who approved that. They really did miss the point of the book and just ended up making a boring, predictable, emotionless film that at its best serves as your last video before bed. I don't even really need to go into plot details, nor do I really want to. If you do for some reason decide to watch this film, you'll realize all these issues from the moment the film starts. The acting is fine. I don't think it's anything great, but it's not bad. It's literally just a point A to point B story with everything in between being predicted moments before it even happens. The Electric State is just not that interesting and is super bland. And that sucks because the book is the complete opposite. That's really all there is to say about this film, and I would rather just have the point of this video be a recommendation for Stalenhag's work. But you all know what time it is. As much as I disagree that this movie is a movie, we have to plug the Electric State into the dog film rating guide. How this works is that we start at 5 out of 10 and add or subtract a point for every positive and negative in the film. Anything notable can vary, with it either adding or subtracting only half a point. I don't have anything positive to say, so I'm going to give this movie the benefit of the doubt and start with its only positive notable, being that I'm giving half a point for the visual design. I would give this a full point, but the visual design misses the mark on the message and purpose of the book. But the design is still at least good and is the most impressive part of this film, and for a negative notable, I'm taking away half a point for the film just feeling slow. With everything being so predictable, the plot drags and just becomes a really boring watch. On to the negative, there's only one. I'm taking away a full point for the writing and plot. That really sums up the issue with The Electric State, being that the writing just has the movie play everything super safe. It's boring, it's predictable, it doesn't even try to match the emotion of the source material. It's just bad writing. And that's everything, really. That is all there is to say about this film. Plugging it all in, The Electric State scored a 4 out of 10, earning a C, making this film bland. I agree with this. Again, I don't think the movie is bad or the worst film experience. It is just super boring and slow. $300 million and really great source material, you would think this movie would be a knockout, but unfortunately, the only knocking out it does is to put you to sleep. That's all I have to say though. Let me know your thoughts if you agree or disagree with my review on The Electric State, and I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.